Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ali Shabazz. I've been already introduced, representing the youth wing of the Lahore Conservation Society. I have minimized the statistical data within my presentation, and I have focused on more analytical as well as proposals that are going to be viable within Rio Plus 20 concerning the youth. Must also realize that at this very point of time, we've been discussing sustainability as a matter of boundaries, whereby we're considering only green economies or something related to carbon footprints, and then water resources and all that. The diversified definition of sustainability should also be extended to the youth empowerment projects, which should also be linked directly as a bridge to have sustainable development. So what do we define youth as? What, according to the UN, youth is a person between 15 to 24 years old. The of youth within Pakistan is such that 60% of the people in Pakistan constitute of a population that is less than 25 years old, and that is why we consider that it's essential for them to be extended some good opportunities for representation as well. So I define as youth empowerment as a step to sustainable development on a global basis, as well as in particular with Pakistan case as well. Public sector and government, in addition to IGOs, NGOs, educational institutes and family kinship units are going to play a very pivotal role as to how youth empowerment is endorsed. So this is a whole chain that is going to operate within a scenario. We're going to start with government action for youth mainstreaming, giving them representation, giving them opportunities at forums that are going to be leading to public discourse, and not only limiting their opinion, but giving them a say in greater governance and diplomatic negotiations. With collaboration of all stakeholders, and the availability of funding opportunities and empowered youth will have an outcome of sustainable development. And this is what should be a proposal, a basic guideline for the Rio Plus 20 by the Pakistani delegation. The most important step in youth empowerment we define as the involvement of youth in policy making. And how will that benefit? Has crossed multiple benefits within how it enriches debate itself, how the exposure and awareness that the youth gets is indispensable in a sense that the experience that is inculcated within the youth is not only going to be instrumental in how the mainstream mechanisms of the UN is operated, and at an integral opportunity like the Rio Plus 20, which is going to be a follow-up of the Rio in 1992 conference, and then again a major step towards sustainable development, the involvement of youth is integral, which will not only give rise to the addressing of youth issues, but also enhance cooperation between different stakeholders. So coming on to the, a little bit of background, how inclusion of youth delegates in official delegations or country delegations has been appreciated and approved by the United Nations itself. And countries which are like belong to the first world, Germany, Belgium, Netherlands, Sweden, have all been including official delegates which are youth. And why at this very point of time is Pakistan not opting for that? Why are we discussing on things that are already stereotypical and not coming to new ideas and new initiatives to give youth representation as well? So this is the most, I would like all of you to give me some time and full attention on this very formula. This is something that I worked really hard on, and I had formulated a formula which is the Enrich formula, which is going to be comprising a baseline for how progression and catalyzation of environmental education as well as youth opportunities on sustainable education is going to be so integral within the comprehensive mechanisms on global as well as national basis. E for environmental education, N for negotiations, R for reconciliation, I for innovation, C for commitment, and H for hope. Together, all these would lead to something that is going to be worth a gradual process. It could be a steady process of involving the youth, as well as a communal guideline for better framework and yardsticks for development on a more sustainable basis. We must notice that Rio Plus 20s from 10 to 12 June 2012 is a platform for youth from all over the world to prepare for the Rio Plus 20 conference that is going to take place after that. And it is alarming, ladies and gentlemen, to realize that not a single person, not a single youth from Pakistan is being represented in that conference. I've been working on this very project since January 2012, and then I've realized that hundreds of people from all of the world, all of the 7 continents, are participating. They've been funded by the governments, by IGOs, by NGOs, and then there are multinationals. But then again, what we suffer is lack of awareness, ignorance, and then the youth are not given opportunities, they're not extending funding opportunities, not given awareness, and that leads to a disruption and a hindrance in their development as well. I had been registered officially to the Rio Plus 20s, but then again, due to lack of funds, I was not able to participate in it, and still it's a static consultation. I've mailed several organizations, including the IUCN, including the WWF, to the ministers, but to no avail at all. So this is a transit cycle that's going to operate with how environmental education to youth. This is a proposal that I put forth to be included in the resolution of the Pakistani delegation. How environmental education to the youth, starting from the secondary level, is going to be instrumental in future growth as well towards sustainable development. Now, we'll ponder upon this, how green career opportunities are going to be associated with the education provision. Because once youth has an awareness, has an idea and insight of what problems are facing the environment, and how they're going to be managing with that on a more sustainable basis, they're going to come up with careers that are going to be more green, like geoengineering, ladies and gentlemen, something more related to the technology on sustainable basis. Then again, when there'll be more educated graduates in those very fields, there'll be more demand for jobs in those very areas. And when industries are set up and these people work in the industries, they'll endorse the idea of sustainable machinery installments. And how this is a whole cycle, when they have income, combat poverty and environmental degradation, how is it all a step towards sustainable development? We can realize that it would be a gradual step and a cycle, but yet it would be a steady cycle. It may work in the next 10 decades, next 5 decades, but then again, the far-reaching consequences would be worth it. Now coming to the real proposals, which are the crux of my presentations. There should be an inclusion of at least one official youth delegate in the Pakistani country delegation to the Rio Plus 20. Ladies and gentlemen, we must realize that this is an integral opportunity for the whole of the global community. And when every developed country is giving a chance to the youth, and why not Pakistan at this point of time? Because not giving youth an opportunity will not only give them take away the right to participate in just a conference. This is not just a conference. This is one of the largest conferences of the United Nations on sustainable development, and will mold the future shape of follow-up events on these very topics as well. Secondly, ladies and gentlemen, on another level, there should be the extension of funding opportunities for youth for Rio Plus 20, so that they have public discourse and right for representation over there as well. What would be the outcomes for all this? I have divided my presentation into some follow-up plans, which would be a basic outline, as in let's suppose that I've been included in the official delegation, and then when I'll come back, there'll be a transmission of knowledge and skills to other youth. There'll be a promotion of awareness on sustainable basis, and making our youth realize that their importance and integrity within the status quo, and how they're so integral within the policy-making structure itself, and how this would again be a cycle which will involve a public and private sector, all the stakeholders, and will gradually become a uniting force for better sustainable development by the youth, as well as other cooperative sectors. Moving on. This is a very interesting policy that I've been working on. I've been thinking to propose this. I was a bit reluctant because the implementation would be a bit difficult, as always, within Pakistan, to be very honest. This is an account of a National Youth Council that I'm proposing to build after the Rio Plus 20 experience, which will compose of 2 basic sectors. The first one would be nominees from educational institutes, ladies and gentlemen, which will comprise of then again 2 more sectors. Number 1, with high schools and secondary schools, and then we're proposing 50% ratio of public and private schools, which will provide an equality within both the educational systems. And secondly, with the more experienced staff of college and universities. Moreover, we're having governmental support as well, which will administer, fund, and supervise all these projects. These are some of the more proposals that I proposed. I hope I could give you all a printout of all this, because I won't be able to explain it. But one thing we must notice over here is the participation in the second rectangle again, participation of youth in international conferences. The upcoming IUCN World Conservation Congress is the follow-up of Rio Plus 20. I want the youth should be representing in that conference, and it will only be possible that once youth has an insight of what Rio Plus 20 is, has an experience that what Rio Plus 20 has done, and the resolution formation, how that's going to be so instrumental. And then without those very knowledge, would they be able to participate in follow-up conferences like that? It's merely impossible, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on. This is just a mainstream guideline, how we should identify an issue, then stimulate ethical consumerism, and then mainstream education and debate as part of school curriculum as well. Monitoring and evaluating progress, what I propose that transparency is an essentiality within this very process. I propose that within the National Youth Council proposal, there should also be a periodic National Youth Conference, whereby there will be a judgment about the Youth Development Index within the comparison of international basis, and UN monitors on qualitative and quantitative basis on the youth development should also be monitored at that. Checks and balances, as I've already mentioned, that transparency and accountability would be there, but one thing, that all 4 provinces would be involved in this National Youth Council, and not only the urban centers, but the rural centers as well, to avoid rural-urban disparity, and there would be no discrimination on ethical and religious basis. This is the core sustainability yardsticks, which I would request all of you to consider. Number 1, implementation of the Enrich formula, which I've already explained. Number 2, we should have a proper framework of occupations within Pakistani society as well as the global community for endorsing some earth sciences, study of geoengineering, providing students and graduates with proper tools and machinery and technology so that they be more well acquainted with the modern technologies and they be more interested in these very occupations. Together, this will all lead to more sustainable development. Then are all the follow-up of establishing youth councils as well as guidance on natural resources. The natural resources such as gas, fossil fuels, and other sustainable resources which are continuous like water should be conserved so that the next generations could use that as well in a way that is more sustainable and more environmental friendly. And youth constituting a major part of the society would be playing a pivotal role in this very conservation. I quote of Kurt Cobain that passion rebuilds the world for the youth, ladies and gentlemen. It makes all things alive and significant. This is so true for how youth is going to be involved, and they can change the whole status quo. They can change the whole scenario. So now, ladies and gentlemen, to my conclusion, we must join hands. Why are we waiting for longer periods of time? It's already too late, and missing this opportunity, missing the opportunity of Rio Plus 20 and not including any youth representative would be incurring a great loss. Even if we're not having funds right now, we're having funds right now, to be very honest, but we're reluctant to invest. We're reluctant to invest in purposes because we have lack of farsightedness. And that is what we need, to invest in the future of Pakistan, to invest in the future of the world as a whole, not only Pakistan, but our own global community. Thank you very much. I hope that my presentation had reached some convincing. And these are the resources that I had gained. I wish that in the final draft that is proposed today, there would be some sort of convincing statements that I've been put forward. Thank you. And to just mention, telling my commitment to this very task, I'm just here in the middle of my O-level exams, which is on Tuesday, the 22nd. And to convey this very message, I've come all the way from Lahore, and I have great expectations from the Secretariat as well as the Cabinet and the panelists to include some substantial information and substantial resolution in this policy making. Thank you.
Ali, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया.